friends, it's Katie from Katie Sees Cards. I am excited to do this flip through with you tonight. This is the Grateful Dead Tarot. It just came out mass market. I do have this giant box of a thing that I bought and I haven't really spent too much time with yet. However, I do like the idea, since I'm a big deadhead, of having the mass market one as well. So let's take a look. All right, before we get going, these are the backs. They're really cool. They're not reversible 100%, but I don't really care. When I read reversals, I don't know. I have a really specific way of reading reversals, so it doesn't bother me. All right, let's zoom in a tiny bit. I'm doing this Mindful Tarot certificate cohort right now. It's a really interesting group of people, and we're getting ready to do this thing called the Drop 'em 78 Tarot Challenge, where we're going to work all the way through one deck, one card at a time. And I'm having a really hard time picking the one that I want. I'm wondering maybe if this will be something that I do. I don't really want to do anything too straight, right, or wait, because I do know that system pretty well. I should be talking about the cards. So some of these cards have different titles, right? So obviously for the Fool, we have the storyteller, musician, lady, father, mother. If you're familiar with the Dead at all, this is part of their lexicon. A lot of times that bothers me on cards, but I do love the artwork, and I do love the band, and I love the music, so I can probably get around it. Cosmic Wheel. The Hanged Man is called the Blues. This is fun. His head is like underground, like clearly underground. And there's all sorts of buried treasure. It's beautiful. The river's going to carry the skull and skeleton away. Those are interesting doorways. Here's our Wolf Devil card. Pretty cool mirror. There's a dark star, right? There's the fountain for the star. Cool. So the Four Winds relates to a song of theirs, obviously, right? And here we have four different winds. They look kind of similar creatures, but they're all different colors and they're all going different directions. So it'd be the kind of judgment I would like, I think. And here's Eyes of the World. Then the suits are different for this one. So we have the roses. The ace is called the terrapin. I love the colors. It's beautiful. So roses are obviously the cups, right? Like leaving, sun setting, and you're going somewhere else. Some of them are pretty close to the Rider Waite. Like here's the Seven of Cups. Everything's coming out of the roses. Oh, the 10. It's really sweet. We have the Knight. Page. Wonder why they put the knight first. Queen. She's got one of her little skeletal toes in the water. The king says further. It's pretty cool. Here's a terrapin of skulls. Not a very happy day. Four of skulls. That's pretty heavy. He's got a little deadhead armband. I like that. So here's the, got a pretty hand here, it looks like. Pretty good hand. Knight. Obviously there's a lot of depth with these. I might use the bigger book as I'm going through trying to learn the meanings on these, because I've been listening to the Dead for years, and I wouldn't say I've even scratched the surface of what I know about the music. I'm like a baby Deadhead. Sorry about that. That was my son's nightly bath time alarm. I really like the colors and the pyramids and the art on this one. Everybody's got a different hand. Here's the terrapin. I'm assuming that's the wolf. King of Wands, there's a little nod to the Rider-Waite with the salamander. And we have the bears. I was into the bears. He's pretty cool though with his little bear sunglasses. I wonder what this bear's writing about. There's little bears dancing on the boot house. Oh, happy little bear family. It's a cool. All the chakras are up the back of this skeleton guy. There's a lot of detail in this that's interesting. The little, I guess that's a rabbit creature. I love her skirt and this comet coming through. And there's the king. There's the backs again. We'll take a look at the book. I like these tips for reading. Reflect on your personal belief system. That's interesting. For being a tiny book, this is pretty good. So it talks about we're looking at the majors. The first cards, 1 through 7, is sort of the opening of the journey. The next stage is cards 8 through 14. So showing the conscious self as ego navigating the world stage. And then the final stage is cards 15 to 21, which is the transpersonal process of human development and the journey back to source. I like that. And it's a little different from how I read tarot. We typically read like Fool to the World, and then I've been learning about the 2 decades of 10 in my tarot cohort. So I'm going to look at the Hierophant because that's my birth card. And so here we have the Saint. I like this. So it says, when the saint arrives, he asks you to define and live according to your dharma. How do your actions serve the whole? What is your place in the greater web of life? Cool. It doesn't really talk about the changes to the suits or like why they changed the suits to what they did, which I'm sort of hoping. Oh, here we go. I just missed it. So we have roses for water, skulls for air, bolts for fire, and bears for earth. I guess that makes a lot of sense. And then these are nice, some basic number stuff. A little separate section about the quartz. And then we get into it. Cool. So I'm going to pull a card here in a second, and I'm shuffling. Normally I don't like shuffle on camera. You don't need to see me shuffle. But there's something about this deck that I like. They're not gilded, so I like that. But as you turn them, there's almost like this shadow gilding. Like it kind of looks like it's gilded, and it's cool because it's not the same color all the way around, right? So if you were shuffling this way, the color you would see like this more as you're shuffling. If you're shuffling face up, I like to shuffle face up. I just like that. It's like almost on the edges it's white, but when you go just a little tiny bit in, there's so much color. It's like a rainbow all the way around the cards. So let's see what we get. These are kind of chunky, like thick. That sort of thick new deck. And that's the one. Of course, we had to pull the Tower, right? I like the language of the guidebook, the hero, right? Looking at the person who's moving through the arcana as a hero. Like a collapsing tower, this collision has left his reason in tatters. When we look at the mirror, we're shown the truth, right? So this is almost like looking in a dark mirror, right? So this might, in addition to being the Tower, this might be a nice card to think about in terms of looking at your shadow or embracing those sort of the full range of who you are as a person. Neat deck. I'm interested to see how it handles over more time. Anyway, thanks for joining me tonight. I hope that you had a great video. Gosh, I sound like I'm ending my class here. Have a great video, guys. I'll see you tomorrow. Take care.